So today I'm going to do a response video to the video that I actually did yesterday. I posted that video knowing I was going to get some hate comments in that video just because I was talking about a stock that's down and we're in a bear market, and I didn't want that to stop me from keeping up the transparency and talk. I've shown my portfolio on this channel for the last 5 years. Every 3 months I do a portfolio review and you can see how it's performing. I've not really hid anything. I've not really sold any stocks out in the background quietly. I've talked about the stocks that have been performing well. I've talked about the stocks that have been, going down, and I've always tried to keep up with that transparency, and I didn't want that transparency to stop even if we're in a bull market. And me doing that video yesterday, I knew there was going to be some negative comments, but I felt like the amount of negative comments that was in there deserved a response and a bit of a reality check about what's kind of going on here. So yeah, I hope this video is a little bit useful. Now, I think yesterday's video made me realise there's an old saying in football that you're only as good as your last game. And I think that's very much the same on the YouTube scene. You can have 3 good seasons as a footballer. You have 1 bad year, a bad season, and everyone kind of says that, oh, you know what, they're a terrible player now. And it seems very much the same if you're a stock market investor, or especially on the YouTube scene. You can have fantastic years in the stock market and then you hit 1 bad year and everyone starts questioning your ability. And it seems the same as in as a bit of a football player. And I think even when you look at the likes of Warren Buffett, I remember when we were going through that 2020 boom and people started going, oh, Warren Buffett, he doesn't know what he's doing anymore, he's lost it, he's too old, Cathie Woods is where you want to be. And then within a year later the rotation happened and everyone's going, oh yeah, Cathie Woods is a terrible investor, Warren Buffett is the man you want to be following. And it seems very much the same right now, what's kind of going on. Now, in this year that we currently have, this has been an awful year for the stock market. Whether you look at the Nasdaq, which I like to look at because it's a little bit more risk-based and probably will have a fairer reflection of how my portfolio is performing, the Nasdaq is currently down 30% year to date. Now, obviously that's an index of stocks and is a relatively safe investment compared to individual stock picking, but even that is down 30% year to date. And in that index you'll have some stocks that are even down 40, 50, 60%, and there'll actually be some stocks that are actually only down maybe 30, 20, maybe 10%. So there'll be a big range of stocks even in that index that are down a lot more or down less than what that index is showing. And for me, in my portfolio, that's been reflected this year. Without doubt, it's not been a great year, but when you look at it, is it a bad year and also the market's performed absolutely amazing? No, the stock market has been dragged down, and I would expect my portfolio to be dragged down if it's been a horrible stock market, which it has been. And unfortunately, I would say that about half my stocks are in the red this year and half of them are in the green, which I still think is not too bad, but obviously is not where I want to be, and I want to get back to a place where I was at in previous years doing this YouTube channel. Now, in this previous years on YouTube channel and showing a lot of these research that I'm doing in these stock picks for free, it seems to be that a lot of people are judging investments over the first 12 months. If you're judging the investments over the first 12 months, obviously they're going to be down, especially in the bear market and especially in these last 12 months. I see no one talking about where my portfolio was at in 12 months ago. 12 months ago, when you go to the portfolio or you look at the portfolio reviews and the portfolio is absolutely fine, I remember seeing no negativity, and it's now funny that we're now in a bear market and now there's negativity. So a lot of this has popped up in the last 12 months, and what has been forgotten is the performance. I've been on this YouTube scene since 2017, and the performance in them last 5 years has been absolutely unbelievable. It's been absolutely amazing. I've written down here some of my stock performances since I made this YouTube channel in 2017. And some of them are exceptional. Whether you look at Tesla through 2018, I took that out as a 300% profit. If I held on to that, I would have had 1,000% profit. But hey, we'll talk about what I actually sold it out at. Tesla bought again, 100% profit. JD.com, I'm still holding some of them shares in there, but I took half my position out at 300% profit. Pinterest, 300% profit. GWPH up 100%. Revolve, iRobot, Greggs. I remember taking a lot of grief off Greggs because I was down 30% on that position, and then we rolled out a 100% return last year. Soon forgotten in a year's time. GNOG was last year, that was an amazing profit. InMode, 400%, that's absolutely ridiculous returns, and I still own some shares now, but that was up 400% when I was taking profit out. It's unbelievable. Celsius, a recent sell, even in this bear market, 60% profit, and there's a lot of stocks I've not even put on this list That's the crazy thing. There's stocks that aren't even on this list because I've run out of room on the whiteboard that have been sold for amazing profit. There was one that I actually sold last week for as big as profit of these, but still a profit in a really negative year in the stock market. And it was like, come on, there needs to be a little bit of respect here. You know, there's judging an investor off 12 months, which is in a bear market, or there's actually looking at an investor in the long term and go, to be putting in these returns in the last few years and publicly doing it for free on YouTube, this is absolutely amazing. It's not a channel here where stock picking's hard. It's not an easy thing to do do stock picking, because you get the moments like this that make it really difficult and your mindset's really, tested. It's not a channel here that does response videos. It's not a channel that kind of goes on here just talking about some topics that are in the media, like what's going on with Bitcoin or what stocks are up and down today or what ISAs you should be using. This is actually a channel that talks about regularly stock picking. And when you're putting in returns like this, it's bloody phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And I think that it's easy to talk about where things are right now in a bear market, but I think it's even more important to look at a long-term context of how the performance has been, especially when you're a long-term investor. And my response here is that the Nasdaq's down 30%. We're in a bear market. 16,740. That is the key number. Why is that a key number? When the Nasdaq gets back to 16,740, we will be back at where the Nasdaq was at all-time highs. When we are back at all-time highs, that is a key number, because when we're back at the Nasdaq and we're at all-time highs, that's when I'll be judging a lot of the investments. I won't be judging the investments when the Nasdaq's down, because some of these stocks will be down more in a bear market. But when we're back at all-time highs, I'll be able to then look around and go, okay, maybe that investment hasn't worked, this hasn't worked. But judging a stock right now in a bear market, or performance, or a stock picker in a bear market, is unbelievable. The big thing right now is to be collecting shares at discounts, and then we'll look at how they performed when we're back at all-time highs. And that's when I'll look and go, okay, there you go, told you. It's worth buying the dip. Or, okay, I got that one wrong. That is the key point. You wouldn't judge a stock performance when we were at the bottom of the CV times in March 2020. You'd be judging them a year down the line, March 2021. Did you get the rewards from buying that dip when the stock market was back at all-time highs? That's the key thing as the investor. Is the key investor to see who is making the right decisions in the bear market for when we turn to a bull market. And all these, a lot of these have been that case where they've been capitalized on dips and then got the rewards when things have turned around. So yeah, I just wanted to make that video there because I felt like some of the negativity that I received yesterday was unfair and a big judgment on what's been happening in the last few months, rather than a whole on the YouTube scene for the last 5 years, which I think has been unbelievable to say that these returns are being put on here for free. And I think there was a little bit of a lack of respect there. So hope you enjoyed the video. Catch you in a bit.